So, as I mentioned when I talked about how the pandemic was so impactful on the most formative years for Gen Z and um, Gen Alpha as well, maybe some of the older Gen Alpha, that's such a time in life when you're really learning about socialization, you're learning about community, and to have to not only, you know, do schoolwork and maybe even part-time jobs. And if they were out of university, their first jobs, the first few years of my job at YPulse was totally online. That really shapes how you think about socialization, how you think about community. And I think they are still learning what that means. I think we're all still learning what community and socialization means and looks like and how to blend the in-person with the digital there. But I do think, for better and for worse, there's such an opportunity with social media, with online forums like Reddit, to find really niche sub communities that you may not be able to find in real life, right? So let's say if it was millennial in high school, they may be friends with, let's say, the band geeks, right? Like very stereotypical. Whereas Gen Z and Gen Alpha can now find, band geek friends who like sci-fi novels and knitting and, plan to move to Japan someday. I don't know. It can get very, very niche. And that means that even if those young people can't find those communities in person, it's not all or nothing. They can find it and supplement their in-person communities, which I think is the important point, with those online, very niche communities. And it's not just socialization, right? It's learning. They're learning new skills. They're learning about subcultures they didn't know exist, which is very validating. But I do think that it's very easy to get sucked into rabbit holes and into echo chambers where if you're not hearing any sort of alternate opinions, that can get very dangerous, not just for young people, but especially for young people as their brains are still developing.